When a word goes forth from the mouth, it is never an empty thing. It is not just sound carried on the air. It is not only vibration moving through space. A word is an expression of intent, of thought, of will, of life itself. It is a seed sown in the field of reality. And like every seed, it carries within itself the potential of harvest. The statement, "My word which goes forth out of my mouth shall not return to me empty," is a declaration of certainty. It speaks of purpose that cannot be frustrated. It describes an authority that does not fail. Imagine a command that, once spoken, cannot evaporate into nothingness. Instead, it travels, it works, it accomplishes, it brings forth fruit, and it eventually returns, not in silence, but in fulfillment. When a person speaks casually, their words may fall to the ground without result. But the words described here are not casual. They are words born from delight. They are words filled with intentionality. They are words sent on assignment. And such words cannot be aborted, because the very will that sends them sustains them until they fulfill their course. To delight in something is to find joy in it, to take pleasure in it. So the statement continues, "It shall accomplish that which I delight in." This means the word is aligned with the speaker's joy, with the speaker's desire, with the deepest satisfaction of the heart. The word is not arbitrary, it flows from delight. And because it flows from delight, it has irresistible momentum. And finally, it is said, "It shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it." To prosper means to thrive, to grow, to succeed without obstruction. A prosperous word is one that cannot be hindered, one that fulfills its mission in abundance. It does not just scrape by. It prospers. It achieves more than enough. It establishes its purpose fully. This idea has been cherished through centuries as a truth about divine utterance. When the Eternal speaks, the utterance is not subject to decay. It does not dissipate like mist in the wind. Instead, it is like rain that waters the earth, like snow that descends and melts, like rivers that carve valleys. The word is living. It is active. It cannot be divorced from its effect. To understand why a word cannot return empty, imagine a seed placed into the ground. A farmer does not scatter seeds in vain, he sows them because he expects a harvest. Even when the soil is hard, even when the seasons seem uncertain, the seed holds a mystery of life within it. And when the conditions are met, the seed awakens, takes root, and bears fruit. A spoken word is like such a seed. It is not a dead object, not a meaningless sound, but a carrier of unseen potential. The moment it leaves the mouth, it enters the field of reality. It interacts with hearts, with circumstances, with time itself. It may not sprout immediately. Days, months, or even years may pass before the fruit becomes visible, but the seed of the word remains alive, waiting for its appointed season. Consider also the comparison with rain and snow. When rain falls from the sky, it never rises again without effect. It does not touch the earth without leaving behind moisture. It seeps into the soil, softening it, preparing it for growth. It nourishes the roots hidden beneath the surface. In due time, the land responds with green grass, blossoming trees, and ripened harvests. Rain may seem ordinary, but its impact is profound. So is the word. When it is sent forth, it waters the hearts of those who hear it. It refreshes weary souls. It softens hardened ground. It awakens what has been dormant. And just as the rain eventually causes fruitfulness, so the word eventually produces what it was intended to accomplish. This truth carries with it both comfort and challenge. Comfort, because it assures us that no true word spoken in faith, in love, or in alignment with divine delight will ever be wasted. Challenge, because it reminds us to be mindful of the words we speak. For if words are seeds, then careless words scatter thorns as easily as wheat. If words are rain, then destructive speech can flood and erode as easily as it can nourish. The original statement, however, speaks of a higher word, a word that never fails, never misfires, never causes destruction, but only prospers. This is not the fragile speech of mortals. This is the enduring utterance of the Eternal. When such a word is released, there is no power in heaven, on earth, or under the earth that can stop it. It must succeed, because it carries within it the authority of its sender. The word and human life. Think of how human lives are shaped by words. A child grows up under the influence of what is spoken over them. Words of encouragement nurture confidence. Words of condemnation wound the spirit. A promise spoken to a friend can sustain them in times of trial. A harsh insult can linger in memory for decades. If ordinary human words have such impact, how much more the word that comes from the source of all life. Such a word is not bound by weakness or limitation. It does not fail because it cannot fail. It does not waver because it is established forever. Thus, when it is said, "It shall accomplish that which I delight in," we are invited to trust in the absolute certainty of fulfillment. The word will not drift into nothingness. It will not become irrelevant. It will not be overturned by time or by human opposition. It will accomplish. That verb alone carries immense weight. The word is active, dynamic, achieving. It is like fire consuming chaff, like light driving out darkness, like a hammer shattering stone. And more than merely accomplishing, it prospers. The word does not limp toward its goal. It advances with abundance. It multiplies results. It leaves behind overflow, more than was expected, more than was asked. Where the word moves, barrenness turns to fruitfulness, emptiness to fullness, despair to hope. The promise that a word shall not return empty speaks directly against the fear of futility. Human beings wrestle with futility in many ways. We labor and sometimes see little fruit. We plan, and circumstances undo our plans. We make promises and sometimes fail to keep them, not because we intend to deceive, but because our strength is limited, our foresight imperfect, our circumstances fragile. But the word described here is immune to futility. It is not subject to decay. It cannot be thwarted by accident or by opposition. It carries within itself a guarantee of success. Its fulfillment is not dependent on the strength of those who receive it. Its fulfillment rests entirely on the integrity of the one who spoke it. This certainty matters deeply for faith. To trust a promise requires assurance that the promiser cannot lie and cannot fail. When a child hears a parent say, "I will come for you," the child's peace depends on whether that parent has both the desire and the ability to keep the promise. If desire is present but ability is lacking, the promise collapses. If ability exists but desire changes, the promise still collapses. Only when desire and ability are both absolute can the promise be perfectly trustworthy. So it is with the word that goes forth. It is spoken from delight, meaning the speaker has absolute desire to see it fulfilled. And it is spoken with authority, meaning the speaker has absolute ability to bring it to pass. Desire and ability meet, and therefore fulfillment is inevitable. Time and the word. Yet there is often a delay between the speaking of the word and the manifestation of its fruit. Seeds take time to sprout. Rain takes time to bring forth harvest. A word may be spoken in one generation and fulfilled in another. To human eyes, the delay may appear as failure. But from the perspective of eternity, Delay is not denial, it is preparation. The soil must be readied. The hearts of people must be softened. The environment must be aligned. Just as a farmer does not reap in the same day he sows, so the word is given space to work invisibly before it appears visibly. This requires patience. It calls for trust. But the certainty remains, the word will not return empty. The prosperity of the word. When the statement adds, "It shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it," it takes us beyond mere survival to abundance. To prosper is to thrive, to increase, to succeed in such a way that the result surpasses the effort. Prosperity implies overflow. Think of a tree planted by streams of water. It does not simply exist, it flourishes. Its leaves remain green in every season. Its branches are heavy with fruit. Its roots go deep, unshaken by drought. That is the image of prosperity. So when the word is sent, it does not merely scrape together a minimal result. It abounds. It multiplies. It brings forth a harvest that testifies not only to its effectiveness but to the delight of the one who spoke it, for prosperity reflects the joy of the sender. A word that prospers reveals a heart that delights in abundance, not scarcity. Amen.